Hi boys and girls! Today we are going to learn how to solve story problems. This is new to you, so I hope you're listening very carefully. So get your listening ears on. Make sure they're on really tightly. Alright, hope your eyes are on the target because we're going to get started. So the directions say, read each story problem. To solve, show your work with objects and an equation. So if you look at the story problems, you can see the story problem here, and here is the equation that is set up for you. And in this equation, I see the plus sign was given to me and the equal sign was given to me. So I know that we are going to add some objects together. So let's get started. Let's read problem number 1. I'll read it first and then we'll read it together. Problem number 1 says, my turn first. There were 3 butterflies sitting on a flower. 2 more butterflies joined them. How many butterflies are on the flower in all? So these words in all tell me that we are going to add our butterflies together. So let's read the problem together. Are you ready? There were 3 butterflies sitting on a flower. 2 more butterflies join them. How many butterflies are on the flower in all? These are very important words here. In all. Anytime you have a story problem that reads in all, you know that you are going to add the objects together. So when I come back here, I see the number 3. So I have 3 butterflies. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click a butterfly and I'm going to bring him over. And I need 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. And if you were doing this in the classroom, you would not draw butterflies because that would take forever. And when we're doing math, we want to do it quickly. So you would just draw circles. So I have my 3 butterflies, and if you were doing this in the classroom, you would have your 3 circles just drawn really quickly on your paper. And then something that is also very important to do when you're in the classroom is to use a break apart line to separate your objects. It makes it easier to see what it is that you're adding together. So here is 3, so I'm going to separate them from the next set of objects. So I just go over here, so this tool is down here. If you don't have it on your paper, you just click here and it pops up. So I'm going to turn my pen off because you see my pen's still on. And right here the box is still white, so I know that my pen is still on, but I don't want my pen on because I'm going to use my butterflies now. Alright, so I have 3 butterflies. And now I need 2 more butterflies because 2 more came and joined them. So let me get my blue butterflies. And again, if you were in the classroom doing this, you would not be drawing butterflies because that would take too long. So here's my 2 more butterflies. So now I have to make an equation to show my 3 butterflies and my 2 butterflies. So on my first line, I am going to show 3 butterflies. So I'm going to click, and then I'm going to come down here and get my calculator tool so I can put a 3 here. And then I'm going to click done because that represents my 3 butterflies that were sitting on the flower. And now I need to show that 2 more butterflies came and joined them. So here I'm going to click, and then I'm going to come down here to my calculator and I'm going to push the number 2 because the 2 represents the 2 butterflies that came to join them. And now I'm going to count all of my butterflies. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 butterflies in all. 3 plus 2 equals 5. So again, I'm going to click, get my calculator tool. I'm going to click on the number 5 because 3 plus 2 equals 5. And then I'm going to click done. And I am all done with story problem number 2. So let's let's look at this one. Let's look at story problem number 2. And I'll read it first and then we'll read it together. So my turn first. I have 4 squares. My friend gave me 5 squares. How many squares do I have all together? So again, the word all together is an important word in my sentence, and it tells me that I need to add up all of my squares. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you look over here, right now I have butterflies because I just worked with butterflies, but now I want to work with squares. So I'm going to click down here. You see where it has a circle, a square, a butterfly, and a star. So if you click that, then you get this box that pops up. And I want to pick squares. And maybe I'll do yellow squares up here, and then I'll get my squares down here. And let's see, a different color. Maybe we'll use green squares. So I think I'm liking green today. And then I just click on the X to get rid of that, and now I have my yellow squares and my green squares. So let's go ahead and read this story problem together. All right, are you ready? I have 4 squares. My friend gave me 5 squares. How many squares do I have all together? And this word all together is going to tell you that you're going to add them all up. So let's get our 4 squares. So I will get 4 yellow squares first. Here's 1, 2, and if you were doing this in the classroom, you would just draw some squares real quick. Just with a pencil. You wouldn't color them in, because when we do math, we have to be quick. Alright, so we have my 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, and I need my break apart line, because that's going to help me keep my objects that I am counting separated so I don't get all confused. Alright, so here's my pen. I need to turn my pen off. Now, my friend gave me 5 squares. So let me get 5 green squares. So look at this. I have a stack of 5 right here. So I'm not going to pull over 5 individual squares. I'm just going to grab a stack of 5 and it's going to lay them out for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect, and it makes them all nice and neat. So now I need to look at my equation down here. So here is my line, and I need to represent my 4 squares. So I'm just going to click, grab my calculator tool, type in the number 4, because this number 4 represents the 4 squares that I have. And then this one here is going to represent the 5 squares that my friend gave me. So I'm going to click and find my calculator tool, click the 5, because the 5 is showing that my friend gave me 5 squares. So now I have more squares than I started with. So now we need to add them all up. So we have 4 plus 5 equals something. So let's count all of our squares together. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now I have 9 squares. So I just click here, get my calculator tool, click the number 9. Looks good to me. 4 plus 5 equals 9. I believe that is correct. I hope you enjoyed solving story problems with me. Now remember, the share box right down here, if you click it, it'll give you a link that you can use to put into the Submit Assignments folder for this week, and then I can look at your beautiful work, and Mrs. Henry would love to see your work. So please share your work with me. Until next time, goodbye.